The story of Jordan Poole is one of the most captivating and perplexing tales in the NBA. It's the kind of journey that can make you question the nature of success, the fleetingness of fame, and the true cost of potential. It's a story that starts with promise, reaches soaring heights, and then, almost out of nowhere, plummets back down, leaving us all wondering, what happened to Jordan Poole? Let's start at the beginning. Jordan Poole, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was a relatively unknown prospect coming out of the University of Michigan. Drafted 28th overall in 2019 by the Golden State Warriors, Poole wasn't viewed as a finished product. He was a project, a player with raw potential who could contribute in a few years. At first, there was little reason to expect anything special from him. But then over the next couple of seasons, something began to happen. Poole's development was nothing short of extraordinary. By his second year in the league, his offensive skills had begun to shine through. He wasn't just a shooter, he was a scorer, a playmaker, and a guy who could step up when called upon. When Klay Thompson went down with an injury at the start of the 2021 to 2022 season, Poole was thrust into the spotlight, and he rose to the occasion in a way few could have predicted. He averaged 18.5 points per game in the regular season, but it was in the playoffs where Poole truly showed his worth. The 2022 NBA playoffs were a coming-out party for Poole. He was playing with a confidence that made him look like a seasoned veteran, not a 22-year-old in his first postseason run. He didn't just contribute, he led. In Game 1 of the first round against the Denver Nuggets, Poole exploded for 30 points, out-dueling Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP. That performance set the tone for what was to come. As the playoffs progressed, Poole continued to dazzle. In a crucial Game 5 against the Memphis Grizzlies, with the Warriors struggling offensively, Poole poured in 31 points to propel Golden State to a win. And in the Western Conference Finals, Poole had a huge 30-point performance to help the Warriors complete a sweep of the Dallas Mavericks. By the time the Warriors had clinched the NBA title, Poole had established himself as a vital piece of the puzzle. He was, at that point, being dubbed the third Splash Brother alongside Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. It was a nickname that seemed destined for a long, successful NBA career, one where Poole would seamlessly transition into a starring role on the Warriors' second championship timeline. The future was undeniably bright. Fast forward to the next season, 2022 to 2023, and it all began to fall apart. It started with an incident that shook the entire Warriors organization. Draymond Green, in a moment of frustration, punched Poole in practice. This wasn't just a minor scuffle. It was a full-on physical altercation that left Poole visibly shaken. Draymond, the heart and soul of the Warriors' defense, was handed a short suspension, but the damage to the locker room was already done. The chemistry that had helped the Warriors win the championship a few months earlier had been fractured, and Poole, for the first time, seemed to be caught in the middle of it all. Rumors began to surface about Poole's attitude and his newfound sense of entitlement. He had just received a massive contract extension, and some speculated that the money and fame had started to change him. Reports claimed that Poole's work ethic had suffered and that his focus had shifted from basketball to enjoying a more lavish lifestyle. This was a far cry from the humble, hungry player who had helped the Warriors win the title just a year before. Was Poole's success simply a flash in the pan? A one-year wonder? The numbers certainly told a story. Poole's efficiency plummeted, his shooting percentage dropped, and his turnovers mounted. It wasn't just a rough patch, it was a full-blown collapse. And as the Warriors' season unraveled, Poole was often seen forcing shots, getting lost defensively and struggling to make an impact on the court. But the real turning point came in the summer of 2023. The Warriors, desperate to reset their culture and move forward, made the bold decision to trade Poole to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Paul. The move was seen as a fresh start for Poole, a chance to step out of Curry's shadow and prove that his breakout season wasn't just a fluke. At first, the narrative surrounding Poole's move to Washington was one of optimism. This was his opportunity to lead his own team, to take on the role of a franchise player alongside Kyle Kuzma and potentially reshape the Wizards' future. Poole's electrifying preseason performances, including a 41-point game at Madison Square Garden, had some predicting that he was about to explode into the NBA's next big star. But the reality in Washington has been a stark contrast to those lofty expectations. Poole has struggled mightily in his new role. His scoring is down, his efficiency is in freefall, and the Wizards, despite Poole's presence, are one of the worst teams in the league. He's currently averaging 15.8 points per game, and his defense has been atrocious, to the point where he's among the worst players in the league in terms of plus-minus. Where the media once saw a future star, they now see a cautionary tale. So, what happened to Jordan Poole? How did the player who once seemed destined for stardom fall so far, so fast? The answer isn't simple. It's a mix of factors. The punch from Draymond Green that fractured the Warriors' locker room, the potential entitlement that came with his new contract, a loss of focus, and perhaps even a lack of proper leadership and mentorship. Poole, for all his talent, may have struggled to handle the pressures and expectations that come with being thrust into the spotlight. But here's the thing. The story of Jordan Poole is far from over. He's still young, only 24 years old, and he has all the tools to be an NBA star. He's shown at his peak that he can score at all three levels and be a dynamic playmaker. He has the potential to be a 25-point-per-game scorer, a dangerous shooter, and an exciting player to watch. But for that to happen, Poole needs to rediscover what made him successful in the first place: humility, hard work, and a commitment to team basketball. Poole's journey now rests on his ability to find his way back. He's got to rediscover the hunger that made him such a compelling prospect. He has to adjust his mindset, recalibrate his game, and reestablish the work ethic that made him the third Splash Brother in the first place. He needs to realize that the NBA is full of talented players, and the difference between success and failure often comes down to the mental game. This is the road to redemption for Jordan Poole, a journey that will test his resolve, his character, and his ability to rise above the distractions and challenges that come with fame. He's still got time, and if he can return to the fundamentals that made him a star, the basketball world might just see him rise again. The question remains, will Poole reclaim his place as one of the NBA's brightest stars, or will he remain a cautionary tale of wasted potential? As fans, we can only wait and watch, hoping for the former, because when Jordan Poole is on his game, there's no denying his talent. Jordan Poole's story isn't over yet. It's just entering its most uncertain chapter. But if he can rediscover his roots, if he can refocus and recommit to the game, the basketball world may yet witness another rise of Kid Splash. And if you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out. Check out more of our epic basketball content. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.